Thomas Massie is not backing down. First, he started out earlier this week, I told you, calling out high-profile names that were still redacted in the Epstein files. Well, now he's turning his attention to the Justice Department itself, and he is demanding answers. Listen to this.
I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't,
bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way you want.
This goes over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
That was Attorney General Pam Bondi testifying today, and Massie, he wasn't playing politics here. He was asking a very simple question. If the American people were promised transparency, why were key names still blacked out when those files were made available? Specifically, why was Leslie Wexner's name, the CEO of Victoria's Secret, redacted in documents related to Jeffrey Epstein? What was the justification here? Instead of getting a direct answer, we got this.
Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed? There was one redaction out of over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement
Gentlemen.
syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Yeah, derangement syndrome? Really? Because here's what's deranged. How about the constant promise of full disclosure followed by half measures and black ink redacting so much? Yes, it is true that Leslie Wexner's name was found unredacted in thousands of pages. But, and this is so important, the exact page where his name was redacted, the one that we're talking about here, is where Wexner was named by the FBI as a co-conspirator with Jeffrey Epstein. Not just some random email or some random paper. It's the one that says he's a co-conspirator. That matters. Look, this isn't about left or right. It's about whether or not the Justice Department is actually interested in answering the public's questions, or are they interested in only managing and moving on from this story. Bondi was not there to discuss the files. She was there to defend the process. But for millions of Americans, this process has failed.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Yes, listen, the Dow Jones is doing great. The stock market's great. People's 401ks are up. All of that's great news. But you are the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America. So you shouldn't be concerned about the Dow Jones. You shouldn't be concerned about people's stocks and 401ks. Your job is to go after the people who are caught up in one of the most prolific, most incredible child trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking rings in history. You have the documents in front of you, and all you're doing is asking for the public to move on from it. The Dow Jones has nothing to do with Epstein. And if you think that you're going crazy when you hear something like that, you're not alone.
She didn't answer anything. She came here just ready to talk about the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, which seems kind of crazy to me.
Well, it certainly seems crazy to a lot of people. And the reason is, when the conversation gets shifted, when it moves away from very specific questions about Jeffrey Epstein, about his co-conspirators, people notice, even though those in power right now pretend not to.